Good morning, students. This is the third video of the chapter Working of Institutions, and this video has been made for class 9th. In this particular video, we'll try to understand the role of political and permanent executives. So far, we discussed the role of parliament and its specific function to frame and amend the law. Now let us discuss the role of political executive, that is the first branch of government. So we can easily understand that if you're going to take the name of the government, the first thing that will come in your mind is the executive, is the political executive. So political executive will consist of prime minister and his council of ministers. This political executive is the bulwark of the entire administration, and this is the branch of government that has been given the responsibility to take decisions regarding the governance of the country. So if you are going to talk about the front runner of the government, then the name that will come in your mind is the executive. But we need to understand here that political executive is not very technical expert. It is dependent on various permanent executive, that is IAS officers. So here we need to understand the role of permanent executive is equally important in the governance of the country. So political executive are in the eyes of public, they are the front runner, but in the background the permanent executive, that is the IAS officers or the bureaucrats of the country, they are running the administration, or they are actually running the governance. So they are the actual decision maker. So on the paper they will make the policy. All the policies that we see today that is going to be implemented or that has been implemented, it is given by permanent executive, that is mainly the IAS and bureaucrats of the country. So here political executive and permanent executive are both equal. They are the two important equals wheel of the administration or governance. So here we need to understand these two wheels will run the governance of the country. So political executive, that consists of prime minister and his council of ministers, as well as the different secretaries like finance secretaries, defense secretary, home secretary, cabinet secretary. These all are working together to help the overall governance of the country. We need to understand the specific role of political executive and permanent executive. So here four differences or four important roles have been given for both the groups. It is mentioned about the political executive that political executive are mainly the ministers or the prime minister. So here we need to understand the political executive will consist of minister or prime minister and his council of minister. But in case of permanent executive, we'll have to understand that permanent executive calls for the permanent IAS officers or the civil servants or the bureaucrats of the country. So bureaucrats, IAS officers or the civil servant consisted of permanent executive. So far as political executive is consisted, it consisted of many political leaders, and particularly the prime minister and his council of ministers. Now political executive is elected by the electorate as per the mandate of the people through the election. We all know there is a provision of Lok Sabha election or general election, and through the general election we are going to choose our political executive. The political power will rest in the political parties. The political party which is going to get majority will get the chance to rule the country. But in case of permanent executive, these are selected on the basis of merit as per the examination conducted by UPSC or the state civil services. So here we need to understand that in case of political executive, they are the elected person through the election, whereas the permanent executive are the selected person through the examination conducted by independent or constitutional bodies like UPSC or state public service commissions. Third point is that they serve for a span of 5 years and then again go and seeking mandate. So we need to understand that the tenure of political executive is not permanent. That is temporary only, and that exists for only 5 years. So they may come to power and they may go out of the power after the interval of every 5 years. But in case of permanent executive, as the name suggests, these are permanent in nature. These are permanent in nature. So they will serve till their retirement age. So we need to understand permanent executive will function, or they will perform till they attain the age of 60 or 65. Similarly, the fourth point is written, the political executive are directly accountable to the people. Here we need to understand a very important point, that the political executive are directly accountable. They are directly answerable to the public for all the activities, for all the policies, for all the decisions. They will have to face the public. They will have to sense the criticize. They will have to face the criticism also. But in case of permanent executive, they are not directly accountable to the people, but they are actually working behind the curtain, and they are not going to disclose their names or their functions. They are working every decision that is going to influence the policy or going to govern the policy of our country. It is taken by the permanent executive. So basic framework or minute framework is made by the permanent executive. We need to understand here, the political executive is going to give a broad framework, whereas minute details will be filled by the permanent executive only, because they are technical experts. They are specialized in their work. If we are going to take about the defense secretary, so the defense minister will give the framework only, whereas minute details will be filled by the defense secretary, and defense secretary will take the major decisions regarding the defense expenditure or any defense purchase. So here we need to understand, the permanent executives are very important, although they are working in the background, but whatever they will suggest, the political executive are going to take it, or political executive are going to implement it. Sometimes it may happen that political executive and permanent executive may come in conflict. So this will be settled by the judiciary. Many times we may have seen that IAS officer is coming in conflict with the chief minister, or district magistrate is in conflict with the local MLA or MP. So this shows that there is a possibility of conflict between the political executive and permanent executive. So we need to understand that they are part and parcel of the governance or the government, and it is bound that conflict will definitely happen between two important bodies. So here we need to understand that both will have to function independently, and both will have to understand that they are equally important for the administration or for the governance of the country, and they will have to come in streamed manner, or they will have to work in a streamlined manner without coming in conflict with each other. So this is the very important point for the permanent executive and the political executive. Now come to the council of ministers. So if we are going to talk about the political executive, and as we discussed, the political executive will consist of chief minister, or consist of prime minister and his council of ministers. So let us discuss about the council of ministers. So council of ministers is a broad word that has been given for the entire ministers, and it will consist of cabinet ministers, it will consist of minister of state, and it will consist of deputy ministers also. So all the different ministers will come under the council of ministers. Now we can see here that Team Modi is there, and it is a list of cabinet ministers as well as minister of state and ministers of independent charge as well as minister of state and prime minister. So prime minister is having own council of ministers. In the council of ministers, he will have cabinet ministers, that is the most important ministers of his choice. Next to that, ministers of states will be there under independent charge, and ministers of states are also there, and apart from that, deputy ministers are also elected. So here we need to understand that this is how the cabinet will be elected by the prime minister. Basically, if we are going to talk about the political executive, here is the example that has been given. So entire council of ministers will be elected or will be chosen by the prime minister under his leadership. They will work, they will function, and they will perform according to the constitution and under his good leadership. So we discussed here the role of permanent executive, and we discussed here the role of political executive. So again, I would like to tell you that here the political executive and permanent executives are equally important. They are two wheels of the chariot of administration, and if any one wheel will go down, or any wheel will be disturbed, then it will create more problem for the entire administration, for the entire country. So here we need to understand political executive and permanent executive are interdependent. They are very important for our country, for our administration, for our society. So we discussed here in this video about the role of permanent executive and political executive. So this is all about in this video. Thank you so much.